Hello, welcome to another day in the arena. Oh boy, oh boy. So, before we launch all the way in, big announcement right now. MTG, of course, has a new set coming out, Dominaria. A lot of excitement about those cards. And Dominaria is coming to Arena on April 26th with a big new update that will also allow you to buy gems. The gems can be used to buy packs, so it's the first wave of taking money. Any gems, you might say, well, CGB, that sounds like a horrible idea since there's going to be a wipe, account wipes, because it's still in beta. They're going to take away all of your collection. Why would you buy gems? Well, when wipes come, the gems will be refunded to your account so you can spend them on the actual cards when the game finally leaves first closed beta, and then again when it leaves open beta. There will be account wipes, but you get your gems back. So it is... If you do decide to buy gems, it's like a long-term investment in the game. So that is coming on April 26th. However, that is not all the news. On May 4th will be the first draft event that they'll have, which they're going to be doing drafts on the weekend, so you can try out drafting here on the Magic Arena. So look forward to some of that. But that's not all either. On April 25th, there will be a streaming event for Dominaria to show off the new cards. They'll be playing Wizards has invited 27 content creators and streamers to play against Wizards of the Coast employees and each other, and they're providing stocked accounts with kind of a whole bunch of goodies, a whole bunch of Dominaria cards, and access to the draft mode. And that is going to be going on from 1 to 5 p.m. Pacific time on April 25th. And yours truly is humbled and delighted to be one of those streamers. This is an invitation-only event. Wizards of the Coast is providing the stocked accounts and packs. I don't get to keep them. It's limited access. But for one day, I will be one of 27 other very popular streamers over on Twitch showing off the new Dominaria cards and products. So if you want to come over to Twitch on April 25th, it's going to be awesome. And if you want to stay right here on YouTube, I have received permission to upload the event after the streaming is done. So I will be trying to provide that to you as well. You'll see me against some very, very popular streamers. I don't know if I'll get paired against them and get to play them, but I know other names involved would include Brian Kibler, Gabby Spartz, and several very big-time Hearthstone players such as Crip and Amaz, and many more, as well as the people that this channel might be familiar with, Legend, Legenvd himself. So it's going to be a really exciting time. I hope you come over to Twitch on April 25th. This is the Dominaria pre-release event. This is invitation only. I've been invited by Wizards of the Coast. They do provide all the product, and I do not get to keep it. Those are the things I have to remember to disclose. But there we are promoting the event. Hopefully you come to the channel CGB and check it out. Links in description. Now let's look into today's gaming. And what I see right now is that I have a 225 quest for black or green spells, which is fine. I can accomplish most quests. Something I forget to say, if you like your quest, if it's the colors you like to play or a deck that you feel you're good about, you don't have to re-roll it. I always re-roll it. I always try to get a better quest since I feel I can use just about any color combination and get some wins. And today's will be the challenge, the green-white deck. You've seen kind of these cat token decks before, but we haven't done it in quite some time. So I will I'm looking forward to see what's new in the collection that I could build with this deck. And I kind of like a very aggressive spam the board ascend thing. I believe last time we did this, we did cat tribal. This time I think I'm just going to do a swarm the board type approach with a bunch of little awesome creatures and permanents that help you ascend so your Snubhorn sentries turn on and things like that. And then we'll probably throw in Pride of the Conquerors because that Ascend beating is glorious, and hopefully we'll get to see one. We could also use Desert's Hold. I don't know. Like at 3 mana, it's tough when you also have Cast Out and Ixalan's Binding at 4, but maybe we just need to run more removal in general. The format can definitely get under us even when we're trying to play a low to the ground deck like this. It's a very, very, very fast, aggressive format. Slaughter the Strong's an interesting card that can create blowouts, but I don't think it's where we want to be in this deck where we're dumping our hand onto the battlefield quickly. Squire's Devotion, though, might help against those red decks. So could Sunscourge Champion, but I think Squire's Devotion is more about what we're trying to do here in this game. Anointed Procession's interesting, but not really what we're doing here, as this is all about the critters. There's the Cast Outs and the Binding, and those go automatically into most of my decks at this point. Sunmare is interesting, but I guess we do have a decent amount of life gain, but not as much as a vampire deck. I'll add it for now, but it may not make the final cut. Going into green, like what do we really need from green? Probably not much. As you see, we're at 54 cards. So I don't think I'm actually going to be using too many green cards. I think this will be a very small splash, mostly for appeal to authority, I'm guessing. And the Resilient Khenras are interesting, but without playing all the Explore guys, I don't think we really want to be there. And as much as I like the Explore package and my 3 Jadelight Rangers, they're just hard to cast in this format on turn 3 because of the way that the mana works out while also having a bunch of white 1-drops. It's very unlikely we actually get to play this when we want to, so I'm not going to try. Call me a quitter. The Pride Sovereigns are a very fun card, and they kind of bring back the cat theme. They can be hard to deal with and might be worth it off the splash, so I'm going to throw them in there. Many games my Pride Sovereign just dies, but there have also been those number of games where the opponent just concedes when they can't kill it. They don't want none of that, and I'm all for playing more of those games. We ran this in the past. I'm not going to run it this time. I think we're just trying to be a lot faster on this particular build. And where are we at? Let's get the appeals in there. Let's get Prepare to Fight in there. The backside is target creature you control fights another creature. So it's kind of a removal spell on the backside of a lifelinking pump of surprise trick, which is nice. And the appeal is just a game ender. Trample plus X for the creatures you control. And then you tap 2 things and your creatures get Vigi. It's a lot of words, and people honestly don't seem to remember the Trample or the Vigilance, including yours truly. And we're at, my God, it's like I've done this too many times now. We're at exactly 60 cards. I do want the Oketra's Monument, though. So let's get that in there, and I don't know, maybe we go down to 23 lands. I'm going to run a whole bunch of deserts for some extra boost on the battlefield. And let's see. I could run Arch of Arazka. It does handle some card draw, some late game stuff if you run out of steam. I just don't know if that's really what I want. Or like when you have one of those and you can't cast kind of some cards, because like these are so much white mana, you know? You really want to go 1-drop and then 1-drop, 1-drop in a number of spots. We have some 2-drops, but also, like, where are we looking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. I don't want to take away from the green to do it. And then 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, I think I can cut A planes. But then I just have the deck at 60 and I don't have to cut anything else. Is that where we want to be? God knows that flooding out with this deck can be brutal. We do have some 5s. Some big haymaker 5s. But we have an Oketra's Monument that is sort of a mana source for them. 21 creatures doesn't seem like too many. Actually. But the Squire's Devotion kind of helps on that front. Catcher's Monument makes creatures. I don't know. This deck could be a bit too removal heavy creature light to take on anything like a control deck, but my biggest concern right now are red decks, and cards like Baffling End and Cast Out and Ixalan's Binding have to get Rampaging Ferocidon off the battlefield. Very, very frustrating card to deal with. I think we can try it as it is. So we're going to call this the Green-White Quest. Similar to the last time we did this, but without some of the ridiculous cards, like the Miriarch, I think it's called. And put the kitties in the window, because they love the window. Anybody who has a cat knows what I'm talking about. Crack the sparkling soda for today. And get into our first game. Okie dokes. This is fine. We can get in there with this. Oh, yay. Red deck. Red deck over the last 7 days has been 65% of my games. So if I seem a little exhausted of it, there's a good reason. It's a lot of games, and that's out of, I don't know if you saw, but I have 100 wins. I've got about 170 games, something like that. So that's a lot of red. That's too much to be really blunt about it. That's just too much red. Format a little screwed up right now. So for all of you who complained on my Scarab God videos, come on now. It's not even the problem. Well, this is nice. Our opponent didn't kill our Pouncer, and we were able to shut down the Blazer. Now, we want to play the Glory Bound Initiate on turn 4 so that we can hopefully exert it for Sunmare on turn 5, and we want to continue to try to get our opponent to play removal spells if they have them. So we're just going to keep putting up the kitty defenses. And there's one of those removal spells. Let the Trailblazer get in. All right. Pride is not great here, but hopefully the Initiate lives. That's just what we're hoping for now, since we don't have another way to gain life for the Sunmare. I did think I was a little light on the life gain for Sunmare. Oh, he's pointing something. What do you know? Always got it. I guess we'll make a giant cat. The double strike doesn't trade there because it's only a 1/1, so only first strike damage occurs. The double strike damage never gets a chance to occur, but we still don't mind having a mega kitty. It also makes top decking a Regal Caracal magnificent. Oh boy. Interesting. So Magma Spray perhaps? I guess playing around it would be silly. We do have to prevent the damage sometime and get cards out of their hand. At least it's a lightning strike. Okay, so we draw this. Play that out. Get rid of you. And play you. And end turn. Still trying to be... It's a slow roll Sunmare, but I don't think we'll have the choice much longer. Especially if Hazoret's here. But we always want to have a creature ending on the... Jesus, right when I play that too. What a brutal thing. Alright. Freaking hate Ferocidon. I hate its very existence. I guess we'll get wide. God, this game would have turned out so well too. But there you have it. Rampaging Ferocidon. There to spoil your fun. I guess I should have held on to Baffling End. It's always right when you play that removal spell. All right. I guess we'll just deploy Sunmare, say go. Just keep adding bodies while life total ticks down, but hopefully we can ninja our opponent here in a minute. The time passing means they have likely another magma spray. Okay. Yep. Here it comes. Still doesn't have good attacks though. But now we're finally out of cards over there. Of course. Of course. Well, let's hope he gets greedy. Please be greedy. Not greedy. We definitely don't want another clue coming down, or he can make the big Khenra, but the big Khenra doesn't get around the Sunmare. Definitely need to block. And if we trade our whole board, we can't block anything anymore. I feel like I need to hang on to the kittens. Alright. I don't really want to use a pride here. Alright. Ouch. Speaking of pride. At least it's another big dude. I'm gonna try. Let's see, that comes down. It can make him not block, but then he blocks. You can try to get him to block the kittens, but I don't think that's a good use. Dead do a lightning strike now, or Ramanop ruins. Fun game, everybody. All right. He hasn't been greedy at all so far, so I don't think this will actually work. But you gotta throw your Hail Marys where you get them. Yep, that's what I thought. I hate red. I hate it. Let's try again, and this time I'm not gonna play my Baffling End until they play a Rampaging Ferocidon. Or till I'm about to die. I just thought I would have seen it the turn before, but people are very good at playing off curve, and I'm not as used to it yet. At least in kind of a tactical way, which is nice. It makes you better. I think I do it pretty often. So I'm still on like tactical level here, but I'm not used to opponents matching it. So I got to get better at that. Just a little bit of a raise in the competition, and it's good for everybody, really. So there's your Pollyanna approach to the frustration. I guess we'll go, since this may be control, we'll go with the more beat-downy plan. How about all 3 Sky Marchers? Okay. Well, he's sitting on cycling, opt, something or other. Let's see. How about you? How about play around Censor by playing a cat, which I can get back anyway? Yay. Yeah, you better opt. They're coming for you. So perhaps approach, something of that nature. And we have 2 more creatures to play to just completely get under them. Then we have to play with Settle the Wreckage carefully. I'm trying to go to attacks. Our opponent is a thoughtful one. Taking that damage. All right. How about a snub? You want to counter a snub? Nope. All right, how about a Sky Marcher? You want to counter that? Nope. All right. Fun. What you got now? Supreme Will. Yeah. Needs another white source and a Settle the Wreckage. There's no doubt about it. Just to keep this interesting. All right, pass and turn. Let's see if the Pouncer resolves here. We do that first main, see if they want to counter it, because there's a threat that we could turn this on if we got to 10, but we're still short. So that's the way it is. Let's see, you and you. Is 3 enough? Yeah. We'll go like that. Make them have it. He was a little enticed, but decided not to. The thing is, if we drew any permanent, we'd be able to reload the snub next turn, because remember, we get lands for these. They don't. So Snubhorn wouldn't be without fuel. All right, we drew the Vanguard. Let's go for that. All right, what's the creature we least care about receiving cast out? The cat? I suppose. So we will appeal the cat. Because remember, Settle the Wreckage is still what we're ultimately playing around. So now we have an 8/8 cat. But we don't want to do like no damage at all if our opponent has cast out. So we also, I think, want to still send a pair of Sky Marchers. Okay, there's the cast out. Had a feeling. Also implies there isn't a settle, but our opponent might just be trying to wait us out completely. This is why decks like this, as much as they love cast outs, baffling ends, things like that, I do think they need a real sweeper like Hour of Revelation, because opponents who get a lot of creatures on the board and just play around cast out, it's just so hard to win. All right, who's in? You three. And that'll do it. No Settle the Wreckage. So first win, gold bonus, plummet, yippee-ki-yay. How about another? How about another game? Dorvan. We are playing the Dorvan. Alright. This hand. Man, oh man. YOLO. YOLO. I don't think we can really mulligan it on the play and go down to 6 and hope that we're going to have something else with a turn 1 creature and enough lands and colors to cast what we need to cast. The Desert's Hold are turned on when we draw another land because of the Oasis. But prepare to fight. Will it matter? Pride of the Conquerors is not a good draw there at all. And we want to hold this up. We do not want to. Yeah. All right. Harsh Mentor resolves in turn. The Vanguard. All right. Let's see if our opponent wants to play with the Marcher. Does not. All right. I will play the Vanguard then. Holding back to block is always such a rough thing against red. You really need like 3 or 4 creatures before you can hope to actually slow them down when there's Crashers and Khenras coming at you from every direction. Oh yeah, I know. I'm not blocking that. And a Trailblazer will hit the battlefield. And a Rigging Runner will hit the battlefield. And land off the top. I think the answer is a Desert's Hold on the Rigging Runner. But we could send the Vanguard and see what it does. But I do want to send the Sky Marcher too. And make this into a bad race. The problem with all that, I guess we can just send him and use the Prepare to Fight here instead of the Hold. The Hold I can cast anytime, but while he's tapped out, Preparing to Fight is excellent. If we attack with the Sky Marcher, it gives it away, but what's our opponent going to do? And then we hold this up, but if they have a removal spell, it gets blown out. Also, Harsh Mentor damages you if Vanguard goes off, which makes him really want to block it. I guess if he doesn't block, we can play the Desert's Hold and not hold up Prepare to Fight. So let's see what happens. Okay. Now he thinks he's going to get us, but we're going to get him. With lifelink. And then we will end that turn. So we did catch a blocker. Now we do have to remember using the Vanguard counts for the Harsh Mentor, so we're actually paying 6 life, which is not great, as they might say, and something to be avoided. All right, so there's the Crasher. Here comes red cards. And no way we're jumping in front of that, but our opponent's still at 14. There's a Firebrand. That is very annoying. And is he really going to hold off? Yeah. All right. Now things are kind of sad. Fanatical Firebrand is a real pain, because if we attack with both, he can block one and then ping the other. And I don't really want to pay 6 life for this Vanguard, which means we have to start trying to control the board with our white deck, which is not good. We could also respond with Pride of the Conquerors, though, to blow out the Firebrand. And that sort of keeps us on the right foot. Then we take 7 again and gain no life. It's not great either. Now, I think we've got to start deploying these Desert's Holds so that when we draw another land, we can double spell. And the Crasher's obviously an annoying creature and worthy of a Desert's Hold. No reason to Fanatical Firebrand on end step, although that's a habit some players have. You can use it anytime. You may as well draw your next card and get your information about what to do with it. Another one. There's always another one. So the right thing is probably to make this unable to block. But he's going to ping it. I guess either one works. Yeah, either one works. Alright, that's a decent draw. At least we get a blocker out there to square off with the Mentor, and we can Baffling End the Crasher, and we can get him for 3. We're at 12, so I think that's okay. Although saving Baffling End for those Ferocidons is something we said we were going to do. We could also hold up Prepare, but that doesn't play around a removal spell. So it's very tempting to Desert's Hold, but that doesn't play around Hazoret. So this is the bind that you just get put into. What if we just attack with a Vanguard, hold up Preparer, and put out the snub? We're very likely to take another 7. But we also might do something like ambush a Crop Crasher if there's going to be a Hazoret. So let's go get him. Could also use the Prepare now. The only thing they could have is a Magma Spray, and then we gain 5 life and we hit them for 5. But I don't think that's going to work in the long term. I think we need better impact than that. So, yeah. This is very awkward, as we're not using the Prepare the way we really want to. But if our opponent tries to, say, Lightning Strike this out of the way instead of Exert the Crasher, we'll be better. Well, it'll be pretty sad, because then Crasher can Exert on it. Or we just let that die, I guess, and prepare the Vanguard in that case. All right. It's interesting. It's a mess, but we're fighting. See what opponent chooses to do as they move into attacks. And the Exerting. Okay. Well, if they have a Lightning Strike, I guess I need to get it out of their hand to have a chance in the game. So we'll go for this. It's very bad. And then we have to decide, do we pay 6 for Indestructible with the chance of gaining 3 back? 9, and then another 5 down. Yeah, that's what our opponent's looking at too. But we kill the Crasher, and then we gain 3 more on untap with the hold. And they allow that. Wow. So Crasher. Lock. I'm not going to activate. Just go back up to 11. There's the Hazoret. Okay. That's a no-brainer, so we'll get it done. If there's another one. And another one. There usually is. Okay, I like that they don't make me think they have a trick. And a Nevcrop Entangler. What a mess. So maybe there's just no chance. Maybe we're just not going to run into a Ferocidon for a darn change, huh? So what should I exert this on? I guess I should play this on the Entangler. I think we're at a point where it's time to make the play. But the Sacred Cat can fight the Entangler, so I could try to use Pride of the Conquerors to trade for the Mentor. Or just to block the Entangler. I guess that's a little better. Still holding on to this Baffling End. And they still have a burn spell. Hold up. They want to Magma Spray my cat. Well, can't save it. That's too bad. We're gonna fight something with our kitten. Another on-crop Crasher. almost ascended. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more permanent and we can fight something, but it looks like our opponent just has it all again. So that's nice. And red decks are annoying, and I'm sorry. Trying to stay positive, but I did say 65%. Well, we're 2 out of 3 in red, aren't we? Not like they've been short games either. We're 35 minutes in. So people who say at least it's over fast, not that often. I find red players to be both slow and annoying a good amount of time. Hey, you're not red. I should be counting my lucky stars, but I think our deck is a bit too slow and clunky to really battle a good control deck, so I'm not that optimistic. Also, Squire's Devotion, first time showing up today, which is super annoying. Super annoying considering how much we needed it in the past. Alright. If I play one of these, the opponent's like sure to counter it or do something about it. Still, our clock isn't quick enough, so we're just in the worst of both worlds. But I guess we'll develop our mana base and hope to find something better in the near future. I mean, what's our prayer? Resolve a Sunmare, go bananas. Opponent keeps their top card, which basically means we lose. As anytime they're keeping with his Kanta instead, you know that their hand is getting stacked and stacked, and we draw another useless card in the matchup. So, getting a little pessimistic, but we still got cats at least. At least we got cats on our side. I guess I'll try the Squire's Devotion post-combat, because I know it's just going to die, but at least I can bring the cat back. He'll either use a counterspell or kill the kitten. Oh, okay. Perhaps Golden Demise is what's actually going to happen. Interesting. Are you just going to Scarab God me? Is that the play? There's no creatures in the graveyard. So yeah, that's not the play. Well, since it resolved last time, let's get him. Again. Resolves again. What the heck? Trying to decide if I should just appeal if our opponent's going to be taking all this damage, but I suppose I still want mana up to bring back a cat if there's a moment of craving. Surely they're going to do something sometime, but not yet. Are they really that much on nothing? They kept a card on top. It makes me think there must be a Golden Demise or something. Or are they perhaps bad at using his Kanta? Definitely time to make a move, and there's the Golden Demise. So he was just being golden greedy. Hopefully we can punish that now that his life total is low if he taps for a Scarab God or something of that nature. But he could just have another Golden Demise. Should have played this first to play around Supreme well, but I guess cancel, doesn't matter. So no creatures in the graveyard. Well, there's a snub. I guess Snubhorn Sentry counts. But it's not a lot of creatures in the graveyard, that's for sure. Still, Scarab God usually only needs to get one thing to feel really good about itself. Alright, using his Kanta, finding what? opt. let the card fiddling continue. Some people love their opt. What can you say? All right, Doomfall. Hand's not that great. Don't get too excited. Takes the Sunmare. Opponent is... Okay, there's a card. But, let's see. We can appeal to authority it. That doesn't do too much. But gets a lot of damage in. Or we can just prepare to fight him. There's the dunes. What can we do? Appeal makes this a 4. Authority taps it down. This makes it a 6. And then our opponent... What if... Alright, this gives trample. So what if we Oasis... We don't have the right mana to do that. Alright. We do need to keep attacking. And we probably need to use Prepare to Fight here. So should we use Appeal as well? I think we should just hit him as hard as we can. But not use the tapped part? Yeah, okay. We'll just save the tap down part for if they play Scarab God or something else. Okay. They didn't read that it tramples. So I guess it doesn't matter what we target here. But we'll just kind of rub in the trample damage. And end the turn. Trying to ninja here, but there's another Chupacabra. Alright, so what do we need to draw? Green mana? Not another Baffling End, that's for sure. Yeah, green mana would have potentially done the job. As it is, I can use my Oasis and force him to chump. Not very good. Baffling End is a converted mana cost 3 or less, so drawing both of those is pretty much as bad as it gets. So I guess I'm just ending my turn, which feels pretty suicidal at this point. Okay, another cat. At least those little sacred cats got us to 36 life in the meantime. There's Liliana.
Good news, everyone. I've arrived.
Just keep killing them. All right. Bring it back. End the turn. And the Majesty will put 2 lands in the graveyard. And now opponent's going to take forever, and I'm going to leave the game. I do want to complete the quest without going over an hour. So I think I knew that game was over on something like turn 2 when Search for Azcanta came down. We almost had a chance, but just drew the worst cards we could have for the matchup. All right. And now let's see what the Disc Golfing Mage has for us. Where were you last turn? But play the Glorybound Initiate. More blue-black, it appears. Alright. We have Prepare, which can really help us out. I'm going to play the Oasis first so I can tap it for colorless mana, so I can also play the Sky Marcher this turn. I think we have to go for normal attack here. As much as I'd like to use Prepare, I want to use it in response to a Moment of Craving. Wait. No. Then let's do it. Let's Exert. He'll definitely use a Moment of Craving if he has it here, and he doesn't. So since he doesn't have it, I think we'll just go for Prepare to Fight and really move on him. Because what's he going to do now? Can't really censor that. Could negate it. And that's what the play? Negate it? Oh my god. This is what it's coming to? Does nobody... They really use negate? Some people, you just can't stop them. You can't stop them from playing whatever card ultra tickles their fancy. Well, our opponent did not have a... We're going to play this to play around censor, but they didn't have a Moment of Craving. So we're going to try to test that. They might have a counter spell, but I'm fine with them having to counter a Squire's Devotion. And now they have a Moment of Craving. Didn't have it last turn. Top decked it. Sounds like my day. That's my kind of day. Alright, let's try again. I love how I started this video by saying that I was confident I could win with any two colors, yet here green-white is. They're giving me a very hard time. All I really wanted to do is be competitive in the matchups with red and mid-range. We have not been competitive with red, so some deck building flaw there. Maybe it's just an overall power level thing. Maybe it was just one of the draws was just pretty low power. And with control, we need to swarm the board, but we just haven't had the hands that do it. All right, I'll try this hand. I don't think mulliganing it will improve very much, because what you kind of want to see are 3 lands and 3 spells, and you may or may not get a land off the top, so I don't think there's a lot to gain from a mulligan. But it's an underwhelming hand. Okay, Evolving Wilds is not red, but another land is very bad. Let's go, Dino. Let's go, Dino Snubber. More pure control decks that we probably can't beat very well. Oh, tokens. So a showdown. Hey, we actually drew the sort of curve we really wanted. Amazing. No attacks here. I guess we could have had a free life off the Snubhorn Sentry, but it's almost the same as saving a life. Relax. Couple losses using a color that you haven't really put a lot of wild cards or extra stuff into against at master tier rank against very tricked out decks with good draws. It's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to tilt over. It's okay to be a little annoyed, but nothing to play bad over. Just gotta let it go. Let it go. How about slow players? Are those worth tilting over? Ooh, the questions, the questions. Here's a strategic planning Sunscourge in the graveyard. So the token deck in full tilt. We want to save this for an Anointed Procession for sure, as it's kind of what can carry them. And all right, so we'll play this. I guess I will send you in. I could have, should have done last turn. Evolving Wilds means a tap land, which means the cast out's gonna probably rot in the hand unless I get a really great target here. But the going off with Pride, we don't have enough, we're not wide enough. I do think the creature count's a bit low. I probably need to dial it up quite a bit. Okay, a Prepare to Fight. Still trying to catch that Anointed Procession. Also, this mana being held up, negate Essence Scatter, something annoying like that. Something instant speed. Okay. A bounce spell? An unsummon? Weird. There's the Procession. So we waited it out. Anybody want to attack? No? Alright. Then I will flash this in and snap it. Gimme! Deserts hold. Probably for the Sunscourge Champion. That's sure to come back some point. So we can snubs. And still not ascending. And not having enough creatures for this Pride to matter. And not having a way to make them. So a Pride Sovereign or Regal Caracal would be very nice. I guess we're pretty reliant on cards that can make multiple tokens, and we just don't have very many. Ah, 5 mana. Will it be a horse? That would be very brutal. Oh boy. Probably. I mean, using a Prepare to take out the Anointer Priest, I don't know if things get a lot better, but when the horse comes down, we may need it to fight it to get it off the battlefield, but then we'd have to have a 5 power creature to do it. Now, if we get one more land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If we get another land, we can Prepare to Fight, which would make this a 5/5, and then it could fight the horse, and that would get it off the battlefield. We could Deserts hold the token. All right, we'll block here. I think we're in a lot of trouble though. Waiting for the opponent to make their what will probably be lethal decision is always fun. Yep, there it is. I'll give myself one draw step. And it's not there. All right, so I think I built a bad green-white deck. I think that is very clear. It just hasn't really done anything. So, first of all, where's the biggest problems? I'd say probably the fact that cards like Prepare to Fight and Deserts Hold are just taking spots away from other creatures. This deck can't really go wide without them. But then, once it goes wide, what are we even doing? We have one Pride of the Conquerors. It's just not good enough. So, what does the good version of this deck look like? Let's just... I'm always better at starting from scratch. I've seen Cartouche of Solidarity in some of these, and there could be some trials. There could be a token theme, but we only have a single Anointed Procession, so that makes that seem very optimistic. I played a green-white tokeny Ascend deck at the end of the last season before the NDA was lifted, so I couldn't show it to any of you. And the main power in that deck was just going super wide, super fast, and having Huatli, which we also don't have. It's rough because when I look around at the card set, there's not a lot of payoff. Perhaps the best thing I can do is run Eternalize Explorer and lean heavier into green and actually run those Jadelight Rangers. So let's look into that a little. There's Embalm goes in that kind of place too. Let's see, those come back. You still need these. Rampaging Ferocidon. I feel like that's the game that got away, that we could have been over and done with this quest, but that Rampaging Ferocidon, man, just didn't hold the Baffling End long enough. My opponent either top decked me or outweighted me, one of the two. So what else can go in there? We're a bit of a zoo, so Radiant Destiny doesn't really work. Slaughter the Strong is still an interesting card, but not when you're trying to have your own board. It just it does so little so often. Also, since we're embalming and eternalizing, I'll throw in the Procession this time. I don't think this will be as good as the blue-white version, but we do have to win a game, and we can't. So far, we've already been here much longer than I intended to today. And still hitting with the Caracals. If you curve into those, you have like a chance, is how it feels against red. Although red has beaten my Caracal a number of times too. It's a very strong set. Very strong deck. And we played a lot of control here. So the Embalm Eternalize thing is just much more frustrating for control to deal with. So that's another reason that trying this out might be a fine idea. So we also want plenty of Explore creatures. So we'll get our Branchwalkers in there. I don't know about the Diviner. It will probably be on standby. It is decent against red, but horrible against control. And also just kind of a space filler. Filler for other cards. Moving up, we have 3 Jadelight Rangers. All were unlocked, so at least I've gotten sort of lucky there. We have Mouth to Feed, which we can put directly into the graveyard with Explore, which is kind of a nifty little value trick if we want it. The Trial of Strength, we didn't use the cartouches, or else that might be part of the token package, but no, not in this case. The Wayfinders may also end up in the deck when all's said and done, but Path to Discovery, way to just whipsaw the deck, hopefully, and create like some permanent type advantage. A lot of people like the Tendershoot Dryad, but I already like the 5 drops that I have. My big concern is the mana, but maybe we'll just get lucky and always draw the right lands. That's a good strategy. We'll just get lucky. It'll be great. We'll love it. So we're still green-white. These are still kind of graveyard value cards as much as they didn't impress me before. I think they still fit in this type of deck as well. But I don't think we need the Monument this time. So, Sunmare. Is there enough life gain? Not really. I mean, there's Anointer Priest and Sacred Cat, and there's the Pouncers, there's Prepare to Fight. There's a good amount of life gain, and it does have token synergy, so maybe a Sunmare is still the right play. We definitely need a lot of green-white help in the mana base, and don't have room for any brown lands since we need to curve out. And we have some extra cards. So what were the question marks? This Diviner's certainly can go. And this Wayfinder's a bit of a placeholder. How's our creature count? 26, much higher. I like that. Let's see. Still have the Appeal to Authorities, which are pretty sweet. How about the Priest? Do we need that? I mean, it's kind of it's a good Embalm card and can work with the Anointed Procession, but we only have 1. Path to Discovery, though, I guess we really want those Embalm cards. And if we got so much of that, do we really need Prepare to Fight? I mean, I love a good fight mechanic, but it is a slow, expensive one. So I think that we're going to try life without it. And Mount to Feed, while making a 3/3, we don't have that many big creatures. I guess we could. We certainly could in the late game with Branchwalker and Resilient Khenra, Eternalized Sunscourge Champion, Jadelight Ranger. Talk myself back into that one. I still really want to do the Path of Discoveries. There's sort of my substitutions for not having enough processions. So I could trim a cat. Don't really want to. I guess I'll go one lower on the Wayfinder. It's a placeholder like for a Jadelight Ranger, but it's just not the same thing. Okay. 7 plains, 5 forests. Seems like it should do the job. I'm a little worried about when I play my Jadelight Rangers, but we have a number of other 3-drops. Alright, let's try that. Eternal green white. This one hopefully be a bit better in these matchups with control. I still have no idea if the red matchup will do any good, but let's just try to get off the board. You get a slightly longer video, so if you wanted more content, lucky you. And hopefully if we take something away from today, it's not every first try is a home run. Well, we're up against the Ninetales, which for you Naruto fans, probably a Ninetail Fox shout out, but Fox Tribal, not a thing to my knowledge. Maybe we'll get cats as kind of a shout out, though they're definitely not in the same species. Maybe it's a Chupacabra thing. I'm going to keep it. It's slow-ish on the draw, but the Regal Caracal and Ixalan's Binding are two cards that you love to see. So I'm optimistic with most of our deck being 2s and 3s that we can draw into some. And they're going to open on Sunscorch your face. Interesting. I wonder if they're just hoping to draw a mountain, but no, they have the mountain. They just wanted to send a message. Sometimes it's about sending a message. Alright, it's hard to expect your cat to block, so I like to keep attacking with it when I have opportunities, as there's just so many Crashers and Khenras. So the flood is getting real early. That's bothersome and very concerning. I think we're about to face a Magma Spray. A Blur of Blades, which is 2 damage. It's a -1/-1 counter on your creature and 2 damage to the controller. But we can bring this back. It didn't exile it. And possibly, depending how our opponent plays. I don't think I want to use an Oasis anytime soon. As Stone Raining yourself, not a good idea. And there's a Magma Spray? Well, now I'm confused. Should we Ixalan's Bind the Khenra? I think I have to just save it for a Ferocidon, but at the same time, how much damage can I afford to take? I guess I have to use my turns. I can't sit here doing nothing. It's too bad that's not a cast out and I could hold it up. Our opponent, you can guess, with an on-crop Crasher, maybe a Ferocidon, maybe a Hazoret, and a Rigging Runner, so there's that. But let's try to put it to him. I want to keep these a secret. Show him the Caracal. As long as he's stuck on mana, see if he can deal. If there is a lightning strike, that would hurt. No blocks. Not interested in that. Getting blown out by some tricksy tricks. And, oh, he did draw another red source. That's frustrating. Okay. So let's go for Jadelight Ranger. And see if we can draw that removal spell. You can tell it's being held up now. Graveyard, yes. Eternalize. And another land. So Appeal will basically get blown up by a lightning strike or something of that nature. Now we could target Appeal on one of these cats. Make our opponent kill the cat instead of the Caracal. That's not the worst idea. And he's still going after the Caracal. Wow. Didn't expect that. Okay. So Authority gives our creatures vigilance, and I can gain another life with it. I don't know if it's going to get better, so I'm going to go ahead and use it while I have the mana. And get in for the extra 1 point and the extra life, because life is probably what matters the most right now. Life has to find a way. I know you haven't seen like the big Appeal to Authority blowout. We just haven't had the boards for it. Not even close. It's been a frustrating set of games, but we're still battling. And here they all come. No blocks. Want to keep my life linkers. They can gain more life over time if I keep attacking with them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 plays a Jadelight Ranger, and then there's 4 to bring back the champion. So that's pretty good. I guess we'll do the Jadelight Ranger first, on the chance that we get something else to eternalize or just better information, but 2 more lands. Okay then. I'm going to start playing the deserts so that they don't get stuck in my hand. Do I want to attack with the Jadelight Ranger? I think pressuring the opponent might be the way to be here. So we'll go like that. We'll eternalize this. I feel like I've got a shot in this one. Oh, the excitement. Discard one of our many, many lands. Gain 4 more life and have a 4/4. Another Crasher, of course. But is it going to defend or is it going to attack? What do you think? Do we take this? Our opponent has 1 blocker. If they block here, they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're dead on a swing back. And if they kill this, they still take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They go to 1. And I go to 5, 8. I go back up to 12. And then our opponent had to chump away their Rigging Runner. This doesn't untap, and he's only got 5 damage, and I'm at 12. So, yeah, I think we are the beatdown, and I don't think our opponent realized it. Attack the dunes since we seem to have a number to spare. And that will do it. Very floody game, but our opponent missed land drops, so it was classic Mana Screw versus Mana Flood. But we got the job done. Also, for anybody wondering, we are not using our gold on a pack today. Even Wizards themselves treated to save your gold because of the Dominaria update coming. I'm guessing there's some economy changes that would benefit you from not spending your gold and not cracking your vault. So, vault. Sorry. Not bald, vault. So I'm saving my gold up. All right, longer than normal video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. And remember, the 25th, check out Twitch. Check out Magic on Twitch on the 25th. I'll have some links to my channel in the description. Later.